Another 5 for Friday NFT game submitted by the community. Let's jump into it. Hello, Kamusta, hola everybody, my name is Luke and here I'm helping the Krills, the small investors of the world, become whales one day by playing to earn. And today we have 5 submitted games from the Krill community themselves, and I'm going to quickly do an overview. This is not a review, this is not telling you to invest in these projects. These are just my first takes, looking over these projects for about a half hour to an hour so that I can give some of my general thoughts and potentially help you guys see how I think about investing in which NFTs and games that I like to buy into. And again, do your own research. If you're going to buy into a game, I recommend at least 10 hours, if not more, into these projects if you're dumping a bunch of money into them. So please be careful. Today we are using the RuneScape gem system. Again, see if we can find some good gems out there from the community. Is it going to be a coal, sapphire, emerald, ruby, or diamond for some of these games? Let's jump into them and I'll give you my thoughts. The first game is one that I'm excited to talk about. It is Mouse Haunt, and this was submitted by Zen607, who says the only crypto NFT game that I'm looking forward to is Mouse Haunt, a game that actually looks like effort was put into the game and seems fun to play. Mouse Haunt is an NFT game built on the Binance Smart Chain, something that looks a little bit to me like Luigi's Mansion. It's going to be a PvP, PvE type game where some players are the mouses trying to get through this insane castle, and then other players start out as a ghost and can use objects in the castle to try to kill off the mouse. And then once you die as a mouse, you also become a ghost and enter in the ghost team to try to kill off the rest of the mouse, or I guess mice. So as I watch this game, it really gives me a vibe of Luigi's Mansion, or maybe even in real life playing zombie tag when, one person starts out infected and they go tag someone else and then they join the zombie team. The game is also built on the Unreal Engine, which is promising to me. This game is actually built a few years ago, and you can see that they were DreamHack Pitch finalists for 2018 and Best Game Design, so they've already won some indie game awards, and according to them, they were offered deals that were just unfair to the developers, pretty much screwing them over, and they said it just wasn't worth it, and now they're trying to take this game 2022 and use it as an NFT game, get some backing that way, and finally launch where they can actually earn something and put this game out on the market. The core team is actually pretty big, and just glancing over some of these people, I didn't do any deep dives into them, but they seem pretty legit to me, and so I'm excited for what this team can actually do and develop with this game. So for this game, you can see that the PvE version is coming out here in Q1, so hopefully soon. And then Q2 will be the next game. And then in Q3 is going to be the PvP Castle Heist game, the mice versus the ghost. So you can see their MHT token that is already out. It's just over $1. It just spiked recently in the last couple hours when I was covering this. And you can go buy up some of the NFTs off the marketplace. Right now they're sitting anywhere, I've seen them from $40 to around $50. They also have an AMA where you can see some of the developers playing this game, seeing what it looks like. Obviously it's not fully, developed completely, but you can see there's some good gameplay, and for, a lot of NFT projects, the fact that it has gameplay at all that we can see is a step up versus most projects. So to me, this looks like a game that is really fun. Often when I think about NFT projects, I try to think about, okay, if there was no play to earn aspect, if there was no potential earnings, what kind of game would this fit in my library? And to me, it's something that looks kind of goofy and fun that I'd screw around with friends. Something like, buying Fall Guys on Steam is giving me that kind of vibe. So that to me makes me think, okay, this is a game that could have some hype, especially if it's early compared to some other games in Q3 of this year. Although one of my concerns is this a game that is fun to play and screw around with friends? Something like Fall Guys that potentially, is fun for a few weeks to a couple months with your friends. It's goofy, it's great, and then you realize, okay, maybe it's not as fun and I just lose interest. I'm going to go play other games. So to me, they need to really work on the competitiveness. There are leaderboards and things like that. And can they make it worth it to keep coming back and playing each and every day and keep you engaged, not just for a few months, but for a few years? That's the question mark I have, because mostly I see this as a game that I'd play and screw around with my friends for a little bit, but probably not something that I'd invest my time in forever. Other things to note about this game is there are going to have different rarities, and then, it says the legendary mouses, it will be easier, but even if you don't have a legendary, if the player has good skills, you can still win the game. There's also going to be different genetics and abilities and active abilities for each mouse depending on their fur, hat, and the weapon they have. Then there's going to be land in this game, but it also kind of reminds me of something like Sandbox, where you're going to be able to create your own level on your land, and the more people that are attempting to play it, the more mice you murder in your castle, the more you're going to earn. So it not only incentivizes people to get land and just harvest up random rewards, like a lot of games just kind of throw land out there because everyone wants land. And this game, I think it's kind of cool that they're adding an aspect where you actually have to build a level on it if you want to earn with your land. It incentivizes more gameplay, more levels to be made. So pretty standard tokenomics here. The only thing that's maybe a little bit of a caution flag compared to other games, the team is getting more tokens and the marketing is getting a little bit more tokens and a higher percentage than more projects I've seen, typically just slightly higher, and they are scheduled to get them in January 2024 and get all of them, starting from 2023 to 2024. So all in 1 year, they're going to get their tokens. So just be careful about that. I'm not saying it is a rug pull. I'm not saying that the team is going to just pull out all their tokens, but that is, a shorter period of time to get their tokens than a lot of projects who are more, 3, 4, 5 years before the team gets their full amount of tokens. So this game submitted by Zen607 actually is going to get the ruby for me. I'm actually pretty excited. I'm going to, by the time I release this video, probably going to go buy an NFT. Yeah, it's, $40-50, but to me, that $40-50 mark is where I would, normally buy a video game, so might as well put it into an NFT video game. The one thing that I'm a little bit concerned about, as I said earlier, is the longevity of this game. Can they make it interesting enough with their leagues, with their battling, with some tournaments, things like that, to make it competitive enough to not just make it a game where, oh, I'm having fun with my friends or my stream community for a couple months and then I forget about this game. Next up on our list, we have ChainZ Arena submitted by Ed. ChainZ Arena is an auto card battler RPG that is existing on 3 blockchains: EOS, Ethereum, and Tron. There's also some idle mining in this game where you can earn tokens as you do it. Unfortunately for me, one of my biggest pet peeves while looking at games is games that just on their website first and foremost talk about the token, talk about it being cross-blockchain, all these things, and I have a hard time even looking at this website trying to figure out what is the game. And I come to the gameplay and it just talks about things like boss brawls, okay? But what kind of game is this? It talks about, we can use 3 blockchains and they're pitted against each other. Okay, but I still don't know what kind of game it is. Then I go over and then there's this Chainopoly, and okay, so it's a board game, but then I click over and there's a 3v3 team battle with, these NFTs, and I still can't tell what kind of game this is. Faction wars between the 3 blockchains. I guess that's kind of cool, but does people really want to fight for their favorite blockchain? The blockchain to me isn't something that I'm like passionate about and like want to fight others over. I don't know. It seems kind of weird. And then finally, there's battle stages where I can kind of see the cards being played. But that's my pet peeve, is just like, okay, show me what this game is before you start talking about the blockchain, before you start talking about the token, the earnings and stuff like that. Like, just help me understand, like, why would I want to play this game in general? So finally in the trailer, I can see the auto card battler progression. But before that, it's like, oh my goodness, just like, what is this game? So I haven't heard about this game before, but I think it's actually, according to some of the dates I'm seeing, one of the more OG play to earn games. And, you look at their articles, a lot of it is from 2 years ago. So it makes me think, maybe this game doesn't have as much activity. And you can see even on playtoearn.net, which doesn't track everything perfectly, but you can see a lot of the activity was here last year. And I don't know if they just stopped registering their data, or has this game just kind of been dead for the last, 6 months or so. That's something that I don't know for sure because I'm not into this game. But it seems like this could be one of those old OG games that died in this play to earn space already. And then we can look at DApp Radar even and look at the history here. And since 2020, there has not been a lot, including, most of these things at 10 users or less even sometimes. So Krill Crew, tell me if you are playing this game, if there's anything you know about it. But for whatever reason, what I'm seeing, it seems like it feels like it's a dead game to me. So as far as I know, this quick overview, it's going to be a cull. I just don't have any interest in playing another card battler if it is dead. Even if it's alive, I think I'd rather just invest more time into Splinterlands. This game, Tales of Ragnarok, was submitted by Kaylor Faye. This game, based on Ancient Gods, is an NFT strategy game with lanes going down as battles, something that kind of reminds me of Clash Royale. I didn't see anything about the PC, so I think it's only a mobile game, but I'm not entirely sure. They didn't specify from what I could find. So for the gameplay, you're going to create your best strategy using 3 god NFTs on a grid position. You're going to leverage the strength and weaknesses of the gods by position, battle route, etc., etc. There's going to be unique gods. Apparently, they say god combinations over 1 million plus characters, although I think some of those are repeats just with different attributes, different, as you see here, god combinations of different heads, upper body, lower body, things like that. So it's going to be a mix and match. It's not like a literal 1 million characters, but they're all going to be unique. Then, of course, there's going to be PvP and bot battles, and as you challenge, you will earn. So here are the NFTs, the gods here, and just based on looking at it initially, the art is something that I can get behind. The actual gameplay footage that we saw quickly in that trailer didn't look as appealing, but maybe they're still in early stages and haven't fully fleshed out and made everything look perfect. So I'm interested to see how the actual gameplay footage, once it's released, what it looks like. So you can see here on the roadmap, they don't have any dates, so I can't really tell you when this game is coming out. But you can see what they've already completed, and at some point here in phase 2, as they open up the marketplace, they're doing private alpha testing and open beta. So about the god NFTs, they'll each have a different class randomly selected, so each god could either be a tank, assassin, or magician, depending on when you open up your NFT box. You can level and get them higher stats, especially by spending some of the token that you're going to be earning in this game, and then you can increase their stats, most standard game things, health, attack, defense, and skills. Then each of your gods are going to have a skills. It could be passive, a stat booster, or super ultimate. You're going to get to choose when you get to use them in the battle, so it's not a completely idle sit back and watch. You have to engage with the game, which I like. So as far as the gameplay, you're going to set your strategy up pre-hand, just like most grid auto battlers. You're going to watch them battle, and then you're going to again use that god skill when you can at hopefully the correct time to win the match. So a couple quick things that I'm a little bit hesitant about in this game, things that I want to look for as this project develops. One is the god depreciation. Your god's going to depreciate day by day, which it counts on your rarity, and when it reaches 0, it's going to become a stone statue, so you won't be able to earn. And to resummon your god again, it's going to cost the token that you're earning. So that reminds me of something a little bit like ChainZ Arena. When your NFT is spent all of its battles, you can't earn anymore with it, which is one of the reasons why I haven't jumped into ChainZ Arena as much, because if you don't win enough, then essentially you can actually lose money on your NFT that you are buying, and you're not actually going to be able to make enough rewards. Where, similarly in this game, at least you can resummon your god and, make it useful again, but how much you're going to have to spend versus how much you're earning, that is going to be something important to watch out for. Now, the only other minor concern I have about this game is the team. Some of these people are pretty young into their careers, it looks like, or at least in the experience that is relevant. And sometimes that's good because it can make a team hungry and, they're trying to prove themselves. But typically, if I'm going to invest heavily into a game, the team is super important to me, and I like to see a little bit more experience. So that's just, again, not a huge red flag, but it's just something, again, that I would be careful of and watch for. The other thing I find interesting is the tokenomics. Most games that I'm reviewing nowadays have a 2-token system, one as the governance token and other as the play to earn that is more inflationary over time. This game seems to, at least right now, only have 1 token that's the governance and the play to earn. It does have a max limit, that a finite supply, which is good, but I'm interested to see how they're going to make the 1-token system work when a lot of games are moving to the 2-token system. So Tales of Ragnarok is going to get the Emerald Gem from me, something that's just kind of in the middle. It looks like it has some good things about it, things that I'm a little bit hesitant and I want to see more from the team before buying into it. Right now the whitelist box just says coming soon, so I don't know when you will be able even to buy these if you want to buy these. This is better than a lot of projects I've seen, but also not just screaming out to me as an instant buy. So that's where I'm giving it the Emerald Gem. Next up, we have the Police and Thief game submitted by Declan, who says, "Great stuff, Luke. Have you seen the Police and Thief game on Avalanche? Great ROI." So here we go. Here's the game. Not much to it. Some old school graphics here in the background. You can heist. You can, there's a phase 2 heist. Level up your thief, and you can enter in the money laundry vault. So there isn't much to the website besides that, and then their white paper here, which just starts off with some background. Then there is a summary of how much they are to be minted, 1.7 AVAX, depending on the time. That could be anywhere from $100 to $200. So you can mint a thief or a police, and the thief can enter and stake and earn loot. And then there is a bribe has to be paid to the police every time it's harvested. If they unstake, the police will try to steal all the token loot and keep it for themselves. And then when a new thief or police is recruited and minted, the police will attempt to arrest them. If successful, the police will be rewarded with this arrest. So honestly, as I'm seeing this game, it's not even really a game to me. Really what this is, as I look at it so far, is an NFT minting and DeFi that's dressed up in the theme of a game, Police and Thief. There really isn't much going on besides, saying, hey, you can stake, you can harvest it, and then there's chances for it to be stolen or to be arrested. But really, it's just DeFi with a twist. Then this next part of the white paper concerned me even further than that. Every thief that is minted has a 90% chance of being successful, and then there is a 10% chance that your thief or police is captured by a police. So technically, if you mint one of these, you could be paying $100, $200 in loot or AVAX, and then you have a 10% chance of it being stolen. I mean, I get that they're trying to create something unique. I get that they're trying to, introduce this theme of thief and police. But the fact that your $100 to $200 could just be flushed down the toilet by it being, captured by another police, that just, there's no way that I'm going to do this. There's no way, especially as a small investor, as a Krill, that I'm going to invest into this game with a 10% chance. That just feels like gambling to me. That isn't fun to me. That isn't a good mechanic. I think that is a poor design. I get that they're trying to go with the theme, but I just can't get behind a project where you can invest and have a 10% chance that it just comes to nothing. Then the maximum supply is 5 trillion tokens. When it hits a certain amount, it turns off for the staking part, and the developers will receive 600 million, and community will get 2 trillion. And then you also have a small chance of minting a police that, again, as we talked about, can arrest people, take some of the loot as bribes, things like that, as long as you have the police staked. So Police and Thief is another game that I'm going to give the Cole rating to. Just the fact that it's kind of a little bit gambling where you can lose your NFT, you can lose your mint. Don't like that at all. Really, this to me isn't a game. This is more just DeFi with some fancy gameplay mechanics around it with a theme of Police and Thief. So to me, this is a project, yes, that probably had a good ROI for a time because it's one of the first projects on the AVAX blockchain. And so there's not a lot of options. You can see these games on these newer blockchains really pop off because there's not much competing with it on that same blockchain. But if you are just into a game for an ROI, a quick buck, just recognize that probably other people are in it for the same reason. And once it stops being a quick buck, it's probably likely to pump up and then dump. And that is my warning for you if you are getting into this project. And our last NFT game submitted by the Krill Crew, coming from Tasty Gamer. I've been playing this crazy tower defense game, technically free to play if you don't count the gas fees and magic to claim the tower token. So Crazy Defense Heroes is a game that's already out. You can be playing this on your mobile phone. This is my footage of actually just recording on my iPhone playing this game. And I gotta say, so far, just, maybe I'm just a sucker for tower defense games because I grew up as a teenager in the 2000s and I often used my computer in class to play Bloons Tower Defense. But I did have fun with this game. Pretty standard tower defense game. You put your towers up. There's different types of towers that you can earn. And then you can also, what's a little bit unique is you can control some characters and have some active gameplay, shift them around so that if you want to put them on a certain place of the map to attack and, tank up some shots or delay enemies, you can do that as well. So that's a cool aspect that I haven't seen before in tower games. And then as you play different levels, depending on how well you do, you can earn stars, you can earn resources to upgrade your cards. After that, there are apparently quests that I'm unlocking. You can get your daily chest and get new potential cards to be using in battle. There are ways to upgrade all those things. So there's some interesting mechanics that make it fun to play this game. And it's one of the few NFT games out there that I can say, yeah, I can actually play it right now as we speak. And I'm actually having fun with this game. So those things are good news for this game. So the fact that you can actually play it right now as we speak is one of the reasons why this game is actually number 5 on DApp Radar. Yesterday it was 6, but apparently it just jumped over Axie Infinity. So it is now, according to DApp Radar, the 5th most played play-to-earn game. And then, they talk about the tower token, which is on the Ethereum blockchain, although it looks like they've moved it to Matic, which is great because Ethereum gas fees are just insane. They are mobile games that have already been out for a while, and they are now adding these, tokenomics and blockchain mechanics to it, which, these games have over 2 million downloads between Crazy Kings, which looks just like another Crazy Defense Heroes to me, so I don't know exactly what the difference between those two games are. Now, the one knock I have on this game is the earning part of the game. The gameplay is fun, it's good, but honestly right now it just seems like they don't know exactly what they're doing, and they're still developing the play to earn mechanics of it. They're saying the game activity is being tracked and they're going to be able to claim their tower tokens, but according to their light paper, there's no actual ways to claim right now. Although if you go to their website here, you can see that I was able to claim 1 token, but now it's just waiting to be transferred in the Matic network. So I don't know if at what point they're going to airdrop it into our wallets as we claim these things. It's really unclear, honestly. So, I'm trying to ask other people in my Discord that have been earning what's going on. Tasty Gamer said, he's expecting his tokens. He's received 490 and, somewhere to get around them in 20-ish days. So I haven't been able to confirm that with the game itself, but maybe that's true. So as you can see, I claimed 1 tower token, which is going to be worth, if it holds up, about 3.5 cents. And in Matic fees, I only paid 0.1 cent. So as long as the Matic fees stay down, I'm a little scarred from things like Sunflower Farmer, which pumped all the Matic fees. So I'm a little bit hesitant about games that are on Matic. Even though it's cheap, there are times where it can pump and the fees can become more expensive. And then, you're weighing in the game, should I claim and make enough, or am I going to be spending more Matic than it's worth? However, it looks like tomorrow rewards go up to 2. So it looks like it just keeps progressing throughout the day and throughout the month. You can see I could earn a bunch more tokens. Honestly, the game, again, is unclear of okay, when did I actually get a star chest from the game so I can claim it on here? And it's a little bit frustrating to play on my phone and then have to go claim it online. And so all of that, I feel like if they can just clean up the play to earn aspect, make it a little bit more clear, make it a little bit more easy, then this game is an actual gem. The other slight concern I would have with this game if I was putting money into this game would be the fact that it's single player, and how long can a single player game really last? Not many single player games last 3, 4, 5 years plus and keep people coming back to the game. And if there's no demand for it, then usually that's when the price goes down. So that's the one thing about putting money into this game I'd be concerned about. But apparently, at least how it is right now functioning, you can play to earn for free. And eventually, once these tower tokens are converted or airdropped or something, I guess we are going to be earning. And so technically, you can play this game for free and reinvest some of that if you want. Again, I'm a little unclear on the play to earn mechanics, but that's how I would be treating this game right now. I'm going to give it the gem rating of the Emerald, something that's fun, it's interesting. I'm not sure about the play to earn mechanics, but if I can just keep playing for free, or if the community wants to keep trying out this game for free, if you have a little Matic tokens to cover up the gas fees, then maybe it's worth it to continue to play, especially if you're having fun with it. So that's it for today's video. Let me know your gem ratings on all 5 of these games. I'm not the only one with a brain. I'd love to hear from the Krill Crew. Which ones of these are you excited for or not excited for? Let's talk in the comments, and let's talk in the Discord as well. See you for now. Peace out, Krill Crew.